They never imagined they would find themselves in a love like this. To them, love had always been something distant, something that happened to other people, not something that could reach into their chest and completely reshape the way they breathed, thought, and moved through life. Yet here they are, caught in feelings so strong that they often wonder how they managed to function without you before. Falling for you wasn't part of their plan, and it certainly wasn't something they thought would happen so deeply or so quickly, but the truth is undeniable: they've fallen harder than they ever thought possible. Now, every moment of separation feels unbearable. The silence between you both, though heavy and sometimes painful, has been its own kind of teacher. Through the quiet, they've come to realize things they couldn't see when the connection was constant. They've had time to reflect, to face themselves, and to understand just how profound this bond truly is. That absence has made your presence even more powerful in their heart. It's in those empty moments that they've recognized how much you mean to them, how much this connection is unlike anything else they've experienced, and how much they long to move toward you with open arms. But they also know something has changed. You are no longer the person you once were. The old you, the one who may have waited, tolerated, or stayed stuck in cycles that drained your spirit, is gone. You've outgrown those patterns, shedding them like old skin. What has emerged is a version of you that is spiritually renewed, standing in your power, and walking firmly in your truth. You've chosen yourself, chosen your growth, and placed yourself in first place where you rightfully belong. This transformation has not gone unnoticed. They see the difference. They see the strength. They see that you're no longer willing to sit in the shadows of what once was. And now, more than ever, they are willing to fight for this love, because they know it's not something that can be taken lightly. Still, your shift has stirred something within them. You are not chasing them anymore. You are not clinging to the connection or offering the same energy they were once so accustomed to receiving. This new dynamic has thrown their world into chaos. They don't feel in control the way they once did, and the ground beneath them feels unsteady. Where they once felt secure in your devotion, they now feel waves of insecurity washing over them, questioning whether they still hold the same place in your heart. They sense the energy shift as strongly as they feel their own heartbeat, and it unsettles them deeply. Though they may appear silent, don't mistake their quiet for absence. They are watching, observing, and trying to understand. They are reading your energy in the only way they know how, hoping to find reassurance in your actions, even if not in your words. They are desperate for a sign, even a subtle one, that you still care, that you still hold space for them in your heart. Yet they also know it would be unfair to demand your patience or your understanding outright. They know they've left you with questions, with doubts, and with reasons to guard yourself. Asking for more from you would feel selfish, even though the desire is there, pressing heavily against their chest. What they want, more than anything, is to ease your mind. They want to take away the weight of uncertainty that may linger in your heart regarding them. They want you to know that their silence doesn't mean indifference, but rather a struggle within themselves, a struggle to become worthy of the love they feel for you. They are trying, in their own way, to be optimistic about the possibility of a new beginning, even as fear whispers in the background. Part of that fear comes from the awareness of competition. They can feel it, sense the presence of others who are drawn to you, and it unsettles them. They know you have options, that you are radiant in ways that naturally attract attention. This realization has sparked both admiration and anxiety within them. Admiration, because they see just how magnetic you truly are. Anxiety, because the thought of losing you to someone else gnaws at the edges of their mind. They worry you may be ready to move on, to seek a love that feels easier or more secure. Yet, despite these fears, they hold on to hope. Hope that the bond between you is strong enough to weather this distance. Hope that the love they feel, and the love they believe exists between you, will carve out a path back together. They are willing to fight for this, not in desperation, but in determination. They know what they want now, and it's you. This entire journey has awakened them in ways they didn't expect. Where once they may have taken comfort in the predictability of your devotion, now they are confronted with the reality that love is not something to be taken for granted. They see that your power, your growth, and your choice to prioritize yourself are not barriers to connection but invitations to meet you at a higher level. If they want this love, and they do, they must rise to meet you where you are, not pull you back into where you've been. You've stopped chasing, and that very act has changed everything. It has shifted the balance, created the space for transformation, and left them no choice but to confront themselves. Though the process is messy and chaotic for them, it is also deeply necessary. And so, in the quiet, they sit with their longing, their insecurities, their hope, and their determination, all tangled together. They are waiting, watching, and preparing, because in their heart they know one thing with certainty: they want a future with you, and they are willing to fight for it, no matter how uncertain the path may seem. I have never cried this much in my entire life, not even close. These past several days have been the most painful, heartbreaking days I have ever endured. I have spent the whole last week consumed by tears, sobbing until my chest hurt, weeping until my body felt weak, and grieving until I could barely recognize myself anymore. Every moment has been filled with regret, shame, and sorrow. I keep replaying everything in my mind, over and over, realizing how deeply I messed up. I destroyed something so pure, something so rare, something that might have been the best thing I will ever have in my entire life. I keep asking myself how I could let fear and insecurity take away what was most precious to me. And now, standing in the aftermath of my own choices, I feel completely lost. I don't even know where to begin, how to reach you, or how to even attempt to win back your trust. My mind hasn't been able to think straight. Every thought feels clouded, heavy with guilt. I broke your heart because I was too afraid of you breaking mine. That fear of abandonment, that deep-rooted insecurity, made me push you away when you were the one person who was holding me closer than anyone ever had. You gave me love, patience, and commitment, yet I let my fears build walls between us. And in doing so, I didn't just break your heart, I shattered something beautiful we had built together. Looking back, I see it so clearly now: it wasn't you, it was me. It was my fear, my inability to trust, and my constant doubts that created cracks in what could have been the strongest bond of my life. What hurts the most is the realization that I may have lost the greatest love I will ever know. I feel like I've thrown away something that people spend a lifetime searching for. When I look in the mirror now, I can barely face myself. All I see is someone who let fear destroy love, someone who deceived and abandoned the one person who truly didn't deserve it. I feel ashamed of the decisions I made, ashamed of the pain I caused you, ashamed of not being strong enough to fight my own demons for the sake of what we had. That shame has grown into a heavy guilt that sits in my chest every day, weighing me down in ways I cannot escape. You never deserved any of this. That truth keeps echoing in my head. You loved me selflessly, with everything you had, and you gave me a place in your heart that I should have cherished. Instead, I betrayed that love by doubting it, by letting my insecurities drive me to actions I can never take back. I think constantly about what we shared, the moments of laughter, the warmth of your presence, the countless times you showed me care and devotion. I think about the way you looked at me, as though I was enough, as though I was worthy. And then I remember how I pushed you away, and the weight of that regret crushes me all over again. Now, in this emptiness I created, I realize something I never fully understood before. I need you. I need you more than I have ever needed anyone in my entire life. I used to believe I didn't need a partner, that I could navigate life on my own, but your absence has shattered that illusion. Without you, I feel a kind of loneliness I didn't even know was possible. I am struggling every day, fighting against waves of depression, trying to make sense of a world that suddenly feels colorless and cold without you in it. The truth is, I never needed anybody until I started missing you. Your absence has opened my eyes to just how much you meant to me, how much of my strength, my happiness, and my sense of belonging came from having you by my side. I can't pretend anymore that I am okay, because I'm not. I am hurting. I am broken. And it's all because I let fear rob me of something beautiful. I don't know what the future holds or if I will ever be able to make things right with you. I don't know if forgiveness is even possible after all the pain I caused. But what I do know is that I am deeply, profoundly sorry. Sorry for not trusting you. Sorry for not believing in the love you gave me so freely. Sorry for hurting you when all you ever did was love me. If I could go back and change everything, I would do it in a heartbeat. If I could undo the damage, I would sacrifice anything. But all I have now are my words, my sorrow, and the hope that one day you might see the sincerity in my heart. Losing you has been the hardest lesson of my life. It has forced me to confront the darkest parts of myself, the fear, the insecurity, the self-doubt, and it has made me realize that love like yours is not something that comes around often. You were my safe place, my greatest comfort, and the one person I could truly be myself with. And though I let that slip through my fingers, I will never stop being grateful for the time I had with you. No matter what happens, whether you can forgive me or not, please know this: you are loved, deeply and truly, even if I didn't show it the way you deserved. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and that will never change. And though I may have lost you, I will carry the weight of that loss as a reminder of what happens when fear wins over love. Your partner is finding it increasingly difficult to accept the shift that is happening within this connection. They don't want you to press pause on the relationship, nor can they stand the thought of you truly moving on. In their heart, the idea of you creating space between them and yourself feels unbearable. They are starting to realize that you have stepped into a stage of freedom, self-discovery, and letting go. This awareness is making them deeply uneasy, because it sparks the fear that you may eventually forget about them or no longer hold them in the same place you once did. They sense that the dynamic between you is no longer what it used to be, and the changes within you are stirring powerful emotions they cannot easily ignore. You, however, are approaching this transition from a very different space. There is a calmness and peace in the way you are letting go. Rather than holding on to waiting energy or staying stuck in cycles of longing, you are moving forward with grace, choosing a new direction for yourself. This energy of release is not rooted in anger or bitterness. Instead, it comes from a place of clarity and self-respect. It shows that you have accepted what has been, and you are now ready to embrace what could be. This shift is subtle yet powerful, and your partner feels it strongly. Your decision to release attachment and focus on your own growth brings up waves of emotions in them, ranging from regret and longing to fear and uncertainty. Throughout the relationship, you have consistently offered unconditional love. You embodied the energy of patience, understanding, and compassion, giving them the reassurance that no matter the circumstances, you would always be there. This became a comfort to your partner, perhaps even something they took for granted. But now, something has changed. You are still loving and kind, but you are more deliberate with your words and more cautious with your energy. You no longer give blindly, nor do you extend yourself in ways that drain you. Instead, you have created healthier boundaries, and this shift is noticeable. Your partner senses that you are no longer willing to sacrifice your well-being just to keep the connection alive, and this unsettles them deeply. From their perspective, it feels as though you are becoming detached. Where once they felt secure in your unwavering presence, they now notice a quiet distance forming. Yet, paradoxically, this detachment does not push them away, it draws them in. The confidence you are cultivating within yourself radiates outward, making you more magnetic than ever. They see you standing firmly in your power, and it stirs a renewed sense of attraction within them. They are reminded of your strength, your uniqueness, and the qualities that first drew them to you. At this moment, they are not only romantically drawn towards you but also captivated by the independence and self-assurance you are embodying. This creates an emotional contrast for your partner. On one hand, they are experiencing a low point, feeling vulnerable, uncertain, and desperate for your attention. On the other hand, they are irresistibly drawn to the new energy you carry, an energy that commands respect and admiration. They find themselves looking at you differently now, realizing that your value does not come from how much you give to them, but from who you are as a person, strong, self-aware, and unwilling to settle for less than you deserve. The truth is, this dynamic shift has placed you in a position of power. Not in the sense of control or manipulation, but in the sense that you are finally honoring yourself. You are no longer waiting for them to catch up, nor are you putting your life on hold for the possibility of what could be. Instead, you are moving forward, embracing freedom, and choosing yourself. This is precisely why they are being pulled back toward you. The energy you now carry communicates self-respect, and with it comes an aura of quiet confidence that cannot be ignored. It is important to recognize that your partner's reactions, whether it be their longing, their fear, or their attempts to regain your attention, are reflections of the internal shift you have created. The more you focus on your growth, the more they feel the absence of the old dynamic. They are not just missing your presence, they are realizing the significance of what you brought into their life. For the first time, they may truly be seeing you not as someone who will always wait, but as someone who can and will move forward if necessary. In many ways, this stage of your journey is about balance. You are showing that love does not mean losing yourself, and connection does not mean clinging. You are demonstrating that it is possible to care deeply while still honoring your own needs and boundaries. This balance is what commands respect. Your partner cannot help but notice the transformation, and even though it stirs discomfort within them, it also brings a newfound appreciation for you. Ultimately, this moment is less about what your partner feels and more about the power of the shift you have made. Their emotions, whether they are drawn to you, yearning for you, or feeling low without you, are responses to the strength you are embodying. You have chosen to release attachment, to stand in your confidence, and to honor your own path. In doing so, you have changed the dynamic entirely. You are no longer the person who waits, you are the person who moves forward with peace, self-love, and clarity. And that energy is commanding not just respect and admiration from your partner, but also alignment with the life you truly deserve.